This is a quick example on how to create a virtual list for Webparts360. Once again, go into Webparts360 Designer, look for Custom List, press Create to create a custom list. Under the SharePoint feature, use the components to create the different columns, and when you're done, refresh the columns in Webparts, and now you convert it into a virtual list. So when you come into Webparts360, there's an option called Custom List. And within here, you can actually come in and set up your list. So for example, I want to set up a list for request priority. Okay, and this is part of my system configuration. I will just be able to press the button and the system will actually create this particular list. And of course, by default, it will have a column called title, which I may not want to be the name. So in this case, I will come in and within SharePoint, I can configure and say I'll change it to priority. Yeah. Of course, to make things easier, I can add additional column. Let's say, for example, I have one column for description, where I can put in multiple level of things that I want to say. So for example, I want 3 rows, I can come in and I do that. So by default, usually we will always have a field called status, and this status tells us the ability, it's a choice field that tells us whether we should use this definition or not, so that it can be between active and inactive. And I can use radio box, and by the radio button, and by chance I make sure it's active. So once I've done this, inside my Webparts360, when I refresh the column, I will still see the new columns. And all I need to do is just create my virtual list and select my database and call this table whatever is useful for me. And now it will now save this whole list, duplicate it into SQL. And so by default, I will have a table called system priorities inside here. So when I come in here, and if it's done properly, if you look under the web parts, you will realize that we have a list called request priority, just as I wanted.